Hello, Darklings! So, I did a DIY update video not that long ago, but I'm going to do another because all of the things that I said were for sale in that video are gone. And I've made more since then, and I thought I would share them before they are hopefully gone too. So, first one to pick up, I picked this leather vest up in Portland in a secondhand shop, and it was so sparkly, I knew I had to turn it into something labyrinth related. Naturally. Forever. So, this is from an outtake still from the Jim Henson archive. I sewed this beading on here and down here on the pockets. I put that stuff on, but these sparkly things up here were already there. Everything I've done for you. I had a lot of fun painting that one. I'm sorry it's so small, because I know there are people that want it, but it's just too tiny and it barely fits me. So, and with this stuff, if it looks cool, I'll get it regardless of the size and see if it'll work later. If it fits me, it's a bonus, because then I can model it and have proof that I made it. So this was a denim dress I got from my usual thrift store. Put some studs on there. On the back it says, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. I know the whole rhyme off the top of my head because I'm a crazy person. But on the front, I painted Freddy's glove. This dress is very short, but denim dresses were something I never understood, but I figured it'd be fun to modify. One that I just finished a couple of days ago, this one's really big, is a super distressed Levi jacket. I sewed a bit of fabric behind some of the worn out holes on the shoulders, just because I thought it might add a little bit of extra flair. So there's some purple in there that you can't really see. On the back, I painted Groovy and with a dry brush only technique, Demon Ash from Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. I really like doing the dry brush technique. It looks really cool and requires me to not waste any of my black paint, because I definitely need that. So, 2 more things that are being posted today. A short crop denim vest, Gap brand. Sewed a couple of silk leaves on the front because I thought it might be cool, but on the back, sewed on some spiderweb fabric and did a dry brush only technique on Lily Munster. There's no quotes on this one, which is very out of character for me, but I just didn't find the need for one, and Lily's a very iconic figure. I had fun trying to not paint where the black is. Anyway, so that's a crop vest, you know, waist length. Hopefully someone will enjoy that. This one is kind of out of character with the others because it's not horror related, but it is a reference to one of my other favorite movies. So this is a white or off-white pleather jacket. Again, favorite thrift store. I go there so frequently they give me a discount. My goodness, it's kind of hopeless. So put some studs on the shoulders, and I put Mia Sara as Princess Lily from Legend. And that seems odd, but I really love my 80s movies nice and sparkly, and Ridley Scott does big budget really well. So those are the updates. And this is pretty much all that I have right now. I have some necklaces in my shop as well, but nothing much. So to add to this, since that took so little time, I wanted to kind of give my opinion on local artists and independent artists and supporting them and whatnot. And as an independent artist, I'm totally biased because I'm selfish and I'm like, hey, everybody buy my shit, please. But in addition, craft fairs, local artist booths, Etsy shops, I'm all in support of that because the artist community should be fairly tightly knit. I'm a big supporter of Indiegogo and Kickstarter campaigns. And small budget things I'm really a big fan of. Like, I got on the Repo and Devil's Carnival bandwagon because they were kind of a smaller deal. And when I heard about Devil's Carnival, I did all I could to support them. And one of my jokes is that one of the reasons I'm a starving artist is because I'm busy supporting other starving artists. And a lot of my favorite musicians will do Kickstarters or Indiegogo campaigns for new albums, because I know Voltaire and Angel Spit did that with their most recent albums, and I put money in for both. And I enjoy doing that because I want to support others' creativity. I'm not that big on mainstream culture. And that's just my bias type of thing. But the thing, there's nothing wrong with supporting or enjoying mainstream culture. I just don't have a very big hand in it. And one of my best friends, and pretty much my only friend in my home state, he is super big on pop culture. Like, he's really big on mainstream culture. And he wants to be a mainstream music producer. And I wish him immense amounts of luck. But it's kind of funny that the same person who introduced me to alternative and odd music tastes and independent films is the same person who worships pop culture, and it's very funny to me. He's very interesting that way. And I've had him model some of my stuff. If you've ever been on my Facebook or Tumblr and seen a pretty boy modeling, that's my friend. Anyway, I always try and support local artists. I also try and get people, even if I don't know them, to practice doing DIY and honing their DIY skills. I have pretty much told everybody my DIY secrets. You learn to sew, you learn to paint, you learn to stud, and you learn to think outside the box. That's really all there is to it. And I do have the advantage of being able to paint whatever I want on shit, which is fun. And not everybody has that skill, I guess. You can always learn, or you can shell out money to independent artists, and then you can get your cool thing while supporting someone else at the same time. Like, for example, my Beetlejuice blazer that I've shown in a couple of other videos, the back patch on it I didn't make, but I supported another artist by buying it from them to support my DIY habit. And that's totally a good thing to do. Artists need to be a very inclusive community. And I don't really have a problem with sharing some of my DIY ideas, some of the projects that I've made, and I do enjoy selling stuff, not just as a way to pay for my Netflix bills and my coffee and my hair dye, but as a way for people who can't make the things to get something that is totally unique. And like I said, I only make the designs once. I don't really repeat them. So they get something that's totally unique. And there's always a warm and fuzzy feeling knowing that someone made it by hand. A couple of years ago, before I was friends with the people in Angel Spit, I bought one of Zoog's Destructo shirts. And he sits there and rips these things apart, and he puts rivets in them, he puts studs in them, he puts latex paint on them, he puts all this work into them by hand. I've witnessed him do it. I've helped him do it. And it's very, very cool, because then when the thing arrived, this is before I met him, when it arrived and I held it, I'm like, this is something that someone put blood, sweat, and tears into, and it's totally unique and mine now. And I get to own this unique individual thing. And that's really cool. I also just like random other things. Like, for example, I got this vinyl PVC whatever dress when I was in Portland. In the same shop I got that sparkly vest in. And when I checked the tag, it was a prototype dress from March of 1999 with the old label. And to get an old school prototype lip service dress for $20 is awesome. And the thing is, people ask, how do you have luck in thrift stores? I've explained it before. It's really not that hard. The more that you go, and the more thrift stores you go to, and the less idea you have for what you're looking for, the more likely you are to find something. And in my advantage, my big thing is, since I've been going so long, I ended up having more luck with sizes. I also wear anywhere between a 4 and a 10, depending on what it is. And I try not to be too picky. And a lot of times, if something is a little too big or a little too small, I can cut into it, restitch it, and make it fit me. And that usually is really, really helpful. And it depends where in the store you're looking. For example, the thrift store that I go to all the time at home, these people are awesome, and they know that I'm there at least once a week, which is one of the main reasons I'm so broke. But I keep finding vests and things for somewhere between $7 and $10, and then I get a discount because I'm there so frequently. They have a friends with benefits type of deal, which is really cool because they support local weird artists. And the scene is more inclusive in that area than I initially thought. It's definitely a hit or miss deal with thrifting and with DIY. I have made plenty of things or modified plenty of things, and it was just kind of meh. One of the things I do is I own very few plain t-shirts. This is one of the exceptions. This is my dark crystal shirt because I'm an obsessive nerd. But most of my t-shirts are cut up. Most have the sleeves and collars cut off. I just went to a Grendel and Ludovico Technique and local artist band show at a club not far from here, and the first thing I did, I brought home 2 band shirts. One of them cut the sleeves off, cut down the sides, and put safety pins in it, and left the collar alone. The other one, I shredded the sleeves and then put beads on them, like tassels, and then took the collar off and put some safety pins on it. It's really simple to modify stuff sometimes. Sometimes it only takes like 20 minutes, and suddenly it looks unique and different. Other times it's different types of stuff. Like I made my necklace and I made my earrings. And then there's just all kinds of shortcuts you can take. Like, hell, I found this really cheap, really tacky bone bracelet at Michael's for $2 in their Halloween section. I can't wait for the Halloween stuff to come out proper every year because I'm like, aha, my home decorating and everyday jewelry has arrived. And it's a goth thing, it's an alternative thing, it's a whatever thing. And one of the things of being in an alternative culture is you have to sort of dig between the cracks in order to find the good stuff. And don't be discouraged if you don't find stuff thrifting one time, if your DIY project doesn't turn out well the first time. It's all trial and error. And I mean, the stuff that I make now is significantly better than stuff I made even a year ago and a year before that. And it's just, I've only been doing it a few years, but each time I make something, I notice progress because that's what art is. Every time you make something, it's progress. So I hope that is kept in everybody's minds and they enjoyed the things that I shared, and hopefully someone will buy them from me so that I can afford new hair dye and pretty tattoos and other things to keep my fans amused. Anyway, until next time, Darklings.